I'm gonna get back when I feel like when I feel like when I feel like when I feel get back when I feel like.
Joost, great to have you here on the show. Thanks for coming. Just wanted to understand, what are some of your first memories in cricket?
I grew up in The Hague in the Netherlands, and I got two older brothers, and we all played football at a football club in The Hague, and they played summer in the cricket in the summer. So you could sort of extend your season to play with your mates by playing a different sport, and that's how we rolled into it at 6-7 years old.
Right, and what was the name of the club?
In Dutch HCC, but you would pronounce it HCC, so The Hague Cricket Club.
Yeah.
One of the older clubs in the Netherlands, and I mean a great place to play. And the fun thing about cricket in the Netherlands is that it's always sort of developing international players who come for a year of coaching and playing in the first. So one of my first coaches was Gary Kirsten, just before he sort of went to play for South Africa and then went to coach every big team in the world.
Right. So was he a player coach? Was he?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he played in the first and then coached the juniors together with some other guys who would help out, but there would always be one sort of overseas pro. And Nathan Astle played in the time when I was young. Tim Zoer, you must recognize.
I know
as
Tim
an
Zoer.
Aussie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So quite some big guys who've made it. Andre Adams used to be a coach. Chris Pringle. So it was interesting. I mean, it's always a bit of a bargain. Is whether you buy a player or you buy a coach for the season, because you could buy 1,000 runs, but if you don't sort of help out your kids, it doesn't really help the longevity of the club.
Right. So you must have very successful history there at the club.
In the old years, far before my time, I think we won a lot. Even our seconds won a lot. But in the more recent history, I think there are a couple of clubs in Rotterdam who've been more successful. I think they've also been here, VOC, Excelsior, and then now VCC in Voorburg.
So you were playing your junior cricket in teenage years, continued playing through the club system?
Yeah, until I went to uni, and then I made some different choices.
Were they good choices?
Well, at the time, they felt like they were good choices. Not for my cricket. And
so what did you study?
I studied law in Leiden, which is very close to The Hague. And my first job was in Curaçao in the Caribbean. And now everybody thinks cricket in the Caribbean, but not on the Dutch islands. So I only played one Saturday evening, and I decided, okay, well, this is not really for me. Spent 3.5 years there, and then moved to Luxembourg in 2007.
Right, great. And what were some of your first memories of cricket in Luxembourg?
I remember we arrived in January, so from the Caribbean, -4 in Luxembourg, me and my then girlfriend, and it was extremely cold, first of all. And then there was a cricket drink in a bar in like an industrial area. It was just super vague, but it was a very warm welcome. And there was another Dutch guy who sort of tried it out, and he was a mate, so we went there together. And then we found out that there was actually a cricket club, and that it was a very, very healthy cricket club. We had one ground, and that's sort of how it started. So in the summer of 2007, I just went along and started to play my games.
Incredible. Oscar's here is actually a very, very good fielder. So if there's a ball coming our way, then he's going to run and jump and take the catch of the year, okay? But it sounded good off the bat just then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, incredible. And so what was the name of the first club that you joined in Luxembourg?
Yeah, so the Luxembourg setup is somewhat awkward because there's almost an umbrella club which is called the Optimist Cricket Club, and they run the ground because they work together with the commune. And then there's a Luxembourgish league with a variety of Luxembourgish club. So sort of the Optimist local club is called the Walfranche Optimist Cricket Club because Walfranche is a village where we play. And then you have other clubs like Star and Heritage and others. They play a local league. But the Optimists play in the Belgian league with 2 teams, 50 over cricket. Because the Optimist was a founding member of the Belgian Cricket Federation. And so traditionally we've played our cricket there. Which is a bit of a travel because Ostend is 3 hours away. Brussels is 2 hours away. But it is, because it's just more people playing cricket, it's a higher standard than what we had in Lux, although that is really creeping up now.
So it sounds like there is a lot of travel there in that case, but otherwise with the ground, I've heard there's a lot of short walks to the ground from where you and Madhu, the president, live.
Absolutely. So I live in the street where Tony Whiteman used to live, and Steve Evans, the former president of the federation, still lives. there's another Optimist member. So there's 4 people living in the same street in the village where we play cricket. And then Madu lives even closer to the ground. And then we have one of the players who's not here but who regularly plays. He just moved, I think, from sort of Luxembourg City to Walverdange. So he has a view. So we try to get as much people living in the village because then we can also control the vote in the commune a little bit.
well done. Oh, the vote's important. And at that ground, are there nets and training facilities as well?
Yeah. So we have we are in a very luxurious position that we've always been a saving club. So we've saved money where we could. So that helps at moments when we need to spend. But we have 4 bays in one concrete sort of based netting on the side of the the road.
The road, yeah.
And then we had a shed, and our commune has now helped us to build a clubhouse. And they have funded that, but our nets need a bit of revamping, so hopefully we have time in the winter to do that. And the way we try to do that is sort of to seek support from the Walverdange commune, either sort of manual or monetary, and then pitch in half. So one of the bigger projects we have now is that we are going completely green with the way we maintain our ground. So we're going to buy one of these electric, sort of the cargo golf buggy, and then with gang mowers instead of using a Toro which is running on diesel, etc. And so the commune likes it very much because it's a very green commune, and we're playing on floodplains, so it's in the open area, so people it's also sort of noise reduction.
Yeah, right. And the clubhouse there, is it a place where people get together after a game and have a drink and have a sandwich and enjoy the company of each other?
Yes, but now we still have the shed, so they've just built a clubhouse where we actually have a social area and then a storage area instead of having everything in one. So now we are, because I'm the president of the club, of the Optimist Cricket Club, so now we have made a little subcommittee for the clubhouse to decide over the winter how we want to do it. But indeed, the idea is to really make it a social place. So also looking to every sort of type of member and every nationality and upbringing, whether we can do something in order not to make it a drinking hall if the majority of the cricket players don't drink. That's not the idea.
Sure. And is there junior cricket that's happening through the club now as well, and at that venue?
Yeah. So every Sunday morning between 9:30 and 12, we have all the kids at the ground, and we got under 7s, under 9s, under 11s, under 13s, under 15s. And we got rotating, so sometimes the youngest take the net, sometimes the youngest play in the middle, and they also play indoors. So we have about 125 kids playing, girls and boys, which is great. My daughter is 12 and she also plays, so the boys as well, but she really likes it, so it's good. And our women just went on their first national tour to Corfu a couple of, I think, last month.
Yeah, fantastic. It sounds great. And are there a lot of immigrants that are still moving to Luxembourg from cricket-loving countries around the world?
Yes, a lot. I mean, Amazon is very big in Luxembourg, and I think they have a moving policy which sort of coincides very well with Luxembourg and cricket. So if you look at Lux in general, I think there's 650,000 people living, and in 2021, 160 immigrants came from India. So if you sort of make a rough calculation, you say 25% of those are cricket players, then you got 3 new teams. So it is actually, the amount of teams is expanding very quickly. So our biggest enemy is that we just have one ground. We really need to find ourselves another ground in order to make sure that we then can benefit from making the choices what kind of cricket we play, for whom, and at which time.
I was just about to cut the tape before you said football was the enemy. I wasn't sure.
No.
You said the lack of grounds, not football's the enemy.
No,
but
that's an interesting thing, because if we go back to the Netherlands, you see now that the most successful cricket clubs are the ones who don't share grounds with football anymore. Because football and hockey, field hockey, are indeed the enemy of cricket, because the cricket season gets smaller and smaller, and the football and the hockey gets sort of a larger season.
Yeah, but what we've tried to do here with the T20, with T10 and with the 50-metre boundary is to find a way of cricket to fit between 2 football fields. So if there is the opportunity where there's not football played on a weekend, then a T10 field can fit between 2 football fields. Just try to work them together.
Because do they play football here as well, or is it just old goals?
Yeah, there's some football goals here. But that's another cricket pitch as well, used by touring teams as well as this one. So yeah, no. We want to play as much cricket as we can, but we have to be adaptable, for the environment that goes around there. And you think that, all these people that are moving to Luxembourg and working in Luxembourg, if they're from the Indian subcontinent, are they going to stay in Luxembourg and then have children that are Luxembourgish and develop organically from there? Is that the big opportunity?
Yeah, I think most of them do. I mean, I don't really keep numbers, but I have the feeling that most of them do, and they find Luxembourg to be their new home. And then their kids grow up through the junior system. So we've got in our team now, we got three kids who've been born in Lux, and some of us have the Luxembourgish nationality because they sort of gotten by residence and by doing the tests. But most of the kids who are now playing in our junior system, they are born in Luxembourg.
Yeah, and therefore, what's the language? What's the main language when the kids are training there?
I think it's still English because it's that we haven't really penetrated the local market. If we could get there, it would be probably French because they get French very early at school.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's a fascinating opportunity. More kids coming from getting exposed to the game early that'll talk to their friends at school and then encourage that growth to go viral and bring more and more kids down there. But it sounds like with your leadership and management and professionalism, that Luxembourg cricket is going to go a long way. It really feels good.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're getting there. I think we have always been very organized. Long before I came there as a federation and as a club, and I think we now need to make sure we get that next step in order to not fall behind of the guys, of the larger countries which got more organized later, but are now sort of picking up the pace. And I think if we're talking about this tournament, I think we played quite well, but I think the other guys were just playing better because they have adapted themselves quicker to this T10 format.
Yeah, adapting fast. We've seen Star CC here a couple of times, and they get better and better every time they come. You only get better by coming and having that exposure. Yeah. One of the great things I've seen on your shirt, you've got your team sponsor for the national team as well. Would you like to give them a shout out?
Yeah, I'll do like this. That's JTC. JTC is a corporate administration provider, especially in fund administration and corporate services. It's actually the firm I work for as well.
Okay.
And they've been always very supportive to the Luxembourg call. So they're not like the national team sponsor; they're more sort of the LCF sponsor. And it doesn't really matter which it is, but this is the only exposure they can get because we're unfortunately the only guys who get on the television.
Yeah. No, well, that's fantastic. We thank them for their support. Joost, thanks so much for your time here. Congratulations to the team and everything that you've achieved. But yeah, I'm excited with yourself and Madhu and everyone in Luxembourg Cricket to really take it to the next step. So thanks for your time.
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Well done.